Hi, I'm Charlie, your online business manager and WordPress expert. My goal is to assist small to medium business owners build their businesses with a focus on using the internet and online technologies in an appropriate and cost-effective manner. People hire me to take the stress out of managing their businesses and allow themselves to focus on what they do best. Today's guest is Mary Pitman from SOULFlex. SOULFlex and Mary helps people get their life together in a way so they look good on the outside as well as the inside and experience health, wealth, and harmony. I'm really looking forward to learning more about what Mary does and any advice she might have for business owners. Hey Mary, how you doing?
Hi, Charlie.
So, a little bit of self-disclosure here. Mary and I have known each other for
We
a
have a
very long
history.
time. Some of my viewers are going to be getting a picture of she's just pulling all these people out that she's known for years, and that's fine.
You've just been around
Um,
for a long time, so
oh no, honey,
or long
makes
enough
me
to know
sound old.
enough people.
There's
No, we were
that.
just
There is
discussing the
that.
kids. We're not that old.
No,
No,
no, we're
our
not. No,
kids
we're
got
not that
older, but
old.
we didn't. Yeah.
Yeah, yeah, and we don't walk past the mirror and go, "Who's that old lady?"
No, the grades are stylish now, so just letting it flow.
The greys are in. That's it. That's it. So,
All
so
the cool
Mary,
kids are doing it.
oh dear. Okay, so Mary, why don't you give me a bit of an overview of who you are, and what you do?
Okay, so who am I? I am a mum, as I said, mentioned. We were talking about the kids. Um, let's see. I As a person, I enjoy doing active things. My highest value, I suppose, is my health and fitness, and I try and influence others in that direction too. And as far as my business goes, I try and put that influence through my business, throughout everything that I do with all my clients in my personal training, as well as my basketball and sports coaching, as well as upcoming retreats that we're planning at the moment.
That sounds fascinating, and it's certainly where you were heading when we first met.
Yeah.
You were doing a lot of personal training at the time, which is
Mm-hmm.
how I met Mary, I might add. And I've been fascinated to watch Mary's business develop over the years. And yeah,
Mm.
I stalk people. Shh,
Yeah.
don't tell
I knew you were there all along.
anyone. So you were talking there about you help people get themselves together, and that was part of the intro I gave you.
Mm-hmm.
Do you want to? I mean, you had some really interesting points to say about personal development and doing it versus learning it, and all of those
Oh,
things. So,
yes.
do you want to talk about your business journey and how you actually came to develop the business as it is today, and what you've found about it as you go along?
Um, well, I'll start with part two, what I found about it. It's not an overnight thing. Um, I had some people that I actually met Charlie while I was in uni in TAFE, when I was very first starting out, and I just got my accreditation as a personal trainer. And I noticed that some of my colleagues or classmates that I'd trained with went directly into the industry, um, shot to sort of success as trainers, with different gyms. And some of them even went out and started their own businesses and were successful, financially, popularity wise, all that kind of thing. And this is before, when the internet was sort of starting. So what was it, 2005-ish, 6-ish?
Yeah, yes, it would have been seven-ish,
Yeah, there you
six-ish,
go.
seven-ish, because I started this business in 2007. So yeah,
So it was a while ago. So yeah, they had their success, and yeah, Michelle Bridges was big and all that kind of thing. Biggest Loser was the thing at the time. So the market was it was developing very quickly, because more people wanted to be in the industry as trainers. And I thought, okay, well, I'm going to start my business. And I think it was Russell Crowe. I heard somewhere that like a very popular Hollywood person said they were a 15-year overnight success. So I'm coming up to nearly 20 years now. But as Charlie mentioned, the idea, the concept, the business has evolved to involve different components of not only health and fitness, but lifestyle. So that's sort of more what I'm focusing on. And as far as the sports coaching side of things goes, developing or using personal development, all the stuff that I've learned over the years since I was a fresh-faced 20-something, to teach the young kids. Like most of my sporting clients are in their teenage years, so somewhere between 11 and 16, and teaching them those tools that I've learned through the years. So basically my sports coaching program is a personal development program wrapped up in a sport. Yeah.
Focus specifically on the kiddies, isn't it? Do you work with any adults?
Again, branching into that area, more through the personal training side of things and the retreats. But at the moment, the main focus is building around the youth and having them develop those skills socially, like resilience, all those internal skills that will actually benefit them into their adult years.
So getting them young, basically.
Yeah,
hopefully teaching them some good habits.
Yeah.
Now you were saying something really interesting before I hit record, so we're going to go back to that one. And you've mentioned mentioned personal development a couple of times now.
Sure.
I was really fascinated about what you said about personal development and what you found.
Which bit? So
About
much.
Doing it.
Doing it. Yeah. Well, I actually started learning personal development or putting my toolbox together by watching Oprah as a teenager in probably senior high school, year 11 and 12. Again, just not long before I met Charlie. And as far as, the personal development tools, I've been a part of several different companies, and they've encouraged regular attendance at seminars, tele summits, reading a book a month minimum sort of thing. And it took all the fun out of everything, to tell you the truth. I used to love reading as a child, and I still sort of do, but now I'm kind of like, am I reading it for personal development, or am I reading it just because I want to? There's like that connection is always there. But as far as the application of the personal development tools, I've actually had business associates, friends, colleagues say, stop doing it, but start doing it. Stop learning it and start applying it into your life, into your business. And that's basically where the main concept of SOULFlex has come from, is sharing those tools and teaching other people how to use them.
Now, see, I find that really fascinating because I call that analysis paralysis.
I do overthink things.
Overthinking, that's the other way. But it's for me, and from my side of the business, you can get down to, am I using the right tool for this job? Is this the best thing I can? And you research and you research and you research and you research and you research, and you never stop researching, and you never actually make that final decision and take that first step. And what I was hearing you say there, and the way that landed on me was, Yeah, you can do as many seminars as you want. You can be able to recite all the tenets and all the little things and all the little ditties and everything word perfect. But if you're not
Hmm.
applying that knowledge, then it's not any good to you. It really, it
Exactly.
really
Yeah.
isn't. And
Yeah.
there has to be a point that you get to that you say near enough is good enough, and let the
Yeah.
rest of it let it flow. Work out what you need, where those holes are, what needs filling as you go along.
Well, as far as all the personal development goes, it all sort of started when I started hearing people saying there's something wrong with you. You need to fix it. So all the stuff that I did was to fix myself. But then I don't know if it was a midlife enlightenment as far instead of crisis, but I figured I'm good as I am. I don't need to fix myself. I just need to use what I know to help others.
That's
So,
fantastic. Okay, so it- coming into that, then you because you were doing something else other than SOULFlex when we first met,
yes,
and that's developed into SOULFlex. What,
yes,
apart from it not being an overnight success,
very not.
what's the sort of lessons that you've learned in developing your business and running your business and getting to where you are now?
That's a very loaded question.
It is
Um,
deliberately.
it's a very full question too. We could talk for days. Let's see. So SOULFlex initially did start similar to Fitness Alliance International, which is how we met, in that it was personal training. And again, going back to my tools, I realized that um, just personal training wasn't enough for me. It's more that it's not all that I wanted to give. And I had always had a passion, a love, an interest, a keenness in basketball. And so, um, and that was, they both came along sort of the same time. So in high school, basketball was how I discovered myself initially, and how I started coming out of my shell, and how I started inventing myself rather than reinventing myself. And so I wanted to sort of share uh, that breakthrough with other people, or other kids about that age, because I was 16 or 17 years old when I started playing basketball. So they are fortunate that they've started a lot earlier than me. And I'm fortunate to work with them to be able to bring them forward through that. So, yeah, I've worked with different programs like Aussie Hoops, and up here in Queensland with the Ipswich Force Future Stars, which is very similar to the Aussie Hoops programs. And I saw a massive gap where in programs like that, it was basically, yes, teaching basic on-court skills, but it wasn't teaching them the off-court skills. So yeah, teaching them patience. If they get put on the bench, they need to wait their turn. Teaching them about, so I'm jumping around a lot, I know, but so
It's
many
okay.
things
I'm
coming into
listening.
my mind. And the key areas I work with in SOULFlex, so the 6 pillars, I suppose you could call it. I'm just going to reference it because it's kind of like the 7 dwarfs. You always forget one or two. So I do know the first one is skills. So again, those on-court and off-court skills. Then we go into the nutrition side of things. It's not only what you eat, but how you eat, and even who you're eating with can influence, and how you prepare food can influence how nutritionally sound it is. And there's a whole lot of depth that goes into that. Then there's mindset, which again ties into the nutrition and the skills. So it's not individual pillars. It's more like a web or a network of, a network of other skills that you learn. So it's not just positive thinking with mindset. It's about thinking about things in a different way. So similar to my personal development journey. It's not about learning the stuff, it's about doing the stuff. Then there's the self-management. So again, working with kids, youth and teenagers in, say, time management and how they can figure out their training around school hours and making sure they're getting enough rest, which goes into the area of recovery, which again ties in your nutrition and ties in your self-management. And that's also another skill that they learn. And then relationships is the final area that we work at in the SOULFlex whole player model. So relationships are really important in school, in sport, in life. And I found that in a large way, in my introduction to basketball before I actually started playing. So I gained an interest at about 11 years old and didn't start playing until I was 16. Because I didn't have the relationships or the tie-ins there, someone inviting me along every week to training. So building those relationships, not only between myself as the coach and my players, but also building relationships with the families and tying the relationships in amongst the players when they don't necessarily have like they don't go to the same school or they don't play with the same club. So this is like an independent coaching program outside of the club scene so that kids can improve their skills. And I've worked with a couple of players who have gone on to representative basketball and gotten MVP awards and all that kind of thing, which is nice. And that was the stuff that I wasn't able to do. So it's kind of living vicariously for me as well.
So there was a couple of things that you said there that I'd just like to sort of touch back on.
Absolutely.
One was that you started the business with a vision, and as you got into the business, you worked out that that vision wasn't quite what you wanted to do. And rather than just persevere and say, well, this is what I've created this business to do, which is one way to do it, or give up, which is the other way to do it.
So many times, Charlie. It's always been just there.
It always is. It always is. But you worked out what the passion that you had was, and it sounds to me like you worked out how to modify what you were doing to do your passion. And that's something I think business owners can really take from all of this is that we all start out thinking, well, we can do it this way, and then go, oh, that was such a mistake. And as you said, it's always there. That thing of I could just pack it in today. I could just walk away. I could sell the business. I could just wrap it up, and I could just walk away and go and do something else.
Yeah.
Or you can sit down and do a little bit of soul searching and a little bit of strategizing and work out how to modify it and what to do. And oh my goodness, those things make such a big difference to you. And I can see that. I saw it in your face as you were talking. You kind of lit up as you started to talk about your passion.
Yeah. And it sort of ties into what we used to call cliches, but are now called memes. Technology, hey? And one of them is you don't know how close you are to success when you give up. And the other one is how long do you flog a dead horse? So there's a fine line between the two. And like we said, there's so many times, it's just right there. It's like, yeah, you could just stop. But then you kind of like, but I've got so much more to give. But I want to give it in a particular way that I guess others are receptive to, but also everyone is going to benefit.
That fulfills you. that fills
Yes.
your cup.
Well, I'm
And
part of
it's something,
everyone too.
well, it's just something, it's something someone once said to me was, what fills your cup?
Yeah. Yeah.
And if you don't know what fills your cup, then you need to find that out. That's something you need to do. And that's why not necessarily people like Mary, because Mary does sports coaching, but you can see how you've taken what you've learned with your sports coaching and all of that you've been doing there and applied it to your business as well. And it just sort of
Yeah.
all flows on through.
But also, what fills your cup can change on a daily basis. It's like, what do I need today? What do I need to do? Is it a
Yes.
peanut butter and jelly sandwich? Is it to go for a walk? Is it quality social interaction? It doesn't necessarily mean, like, even for me, I get those days where I'm kind of like, okay, well, this morning was really great. I cleaned my house. I had breakfast. I did my workout, and that was fulfilling. And catching up with my old friend Charlie, that's fulfilling too. And it's partially business related, and it's partially just because, like, it's something, like, I could have said no to this discussion with Charlie today because I had other stuff on or whatever. But it's a choice we make, and it is cup filling.
It is, it is. And sorry, there was something that you said there that grabbed me, and
Mm,
it's what is your what fulfills you today. Um, there are days you are going to get out of bed and you're just going to go, I don't want to do this. And
mm-hmm,
those are the days that you actually need to have a really stern talking to yourself. And there's two parts to that stern talking to yourself. The first one is, don't be silly, just go do it. But the second one is, do you really not want to do this today? Do you really
mm,
just need to go and take a mental health day or a physical health day and go and do
absolutely.
something else? Because
Yeah.
and I've actually done a podcast on this, and I've actually written on this one, is sometimes just locking the doors, closing the computer down, locking the doors
Yep.
and going out and doing something gives you
Mm-hmm.
that, regenerates you, rejuvenates your
Exactly.
energy, and you're off again.
Yeah.
You can get another 6 days straight without a problem.
Well, that's it. And just today, while I was doing groceries of all things, I was kind of like, well, today I've got this planned with Charlie, so I'll do that. But then tomorrow I don't technically have anything planned, nothing booked, no appointments. So that would be my Sunday because I've worked, whether it be
That's
for my
right.
job, whether it be for my business, whether it be at home or with clients for, say, 14 days straight. So it's my day off. But then I'm like, what does that mean? What do I do on a day off? Like,
I
because
mean,
I'm
that's
just
something else
so
as
used to
well.
doing stuff.
And that's something really important for us as business owners as well, is that
Mm,
we are entitled to time off. We do
absolutely.
deserve time off. And I know that I got to a point in my life where it was like, I just don't deserve the time off. I've just got to keep working, just keep working, just keep
Yeah,
working.
got to
You
push
don't,
through. Yeah,
you
until I
got to
get
push through.
something.
You don't deserve
Yeah,
any of this. Just keep pushing.
you
Yeah, and
seem
so
distracted.
yeah, sorry about that. That was a bit of a pause there.
Yeah,
Like I said, I locked all the doors.
yeah,
Someone had a key.
yeah. Right.
Um,
Hey, when that
But
happens.
but and then I go and take some time out because, yeah, I mean, my dad's pretty good at that. He's like, "Come on, you've been working too hard. Get in the car. We're going for a drive."
Mm-hmm.
I'm like, "I
Mm-hmm.
don't want to. I've got to get this job. Just get in the car." No, I don't. Get in the car. Okay.
Yep.
And we go
Well,
and we do something, and I come
yeah,
back and I feel so good. I
yeah,
feel good about myself. My brain is relaxed. I'm not stressing anymore. And I come and look at the job I was doing. I'm like, oh, that's how you do that, and it's done.
yeah. You get that ding. Yeah,
Yeah.
and like you said, like, it might not be time off, like laying in bed watching Netflix all day. But I had what I called my retreat weekend at the beginning of this month.
Mm-hmm.
And it wasn't disappearing to a farm somewhere and just zenning out. I
Mm-hmm.
actually ended up spending time with friends writing a what we're hoping will be a successful Netflix show. So we spent a whole day just brainstorming and and throwing out concepts and ideas and structure and all that kind of stuff.
But that's
And
fun.
yeah. But it wasn't time off, but it was time off this business.
Doing the business side of things.
Yeah.
I mean, honestly,
So
I find you said you cleaned your house. I actually get a real kick when I clean up my
me too.
area and spend
It feels so
I might spend
different.
half a day. I might spend half a day, and then I walk in and I go, "Gee, that looks good."
Yeah. I'm that way in my garden too. Like I spend a couple of hours out there,
That was
and I'll find
that's my
myself
next
during the
go-to.
day just sort of looking out the window because we've got a 2-story house. So I'll look out the window and look down on my garden, like, I did that. Looks amazing.
That's exactly right. Yeah, that's exactly right. So I think that's something that we can all, and I'm just going to keep bringing it back to business owners because that's who I'm really trying to help here. There is so much you can learn just from your general day-to-day stuff that you bring into your business that we forget or we go, well, that's not very business-like. We can't be doing that. And well, maybe we should.
Yeah.
Maybe we should. And make it fun. If it's not fun, why are we doing it?
Yeah. I ask myself that a lot. This
I mean,
isn't
it's not
fun. How
always
can
going
I
to be
make
fun,
it fun?
but it's not always going to be fun.
No,
But life
no.
isn't always fun, and that's okay.
But it
But
makes
it
you
should,
appreciate the fun bites.
and it shouldn't always not be fun either.
No.
That's the other side of the coin
Yeah.
there.
And that's where they get the grind from. You just sort of striving and pushing and crawling through sludge constantly. And it's just exhausting mentally, physically, emotionally. And
Yep.
you just need that mental break, like you were saying before. Like even if it is doing the dishes, like again, it feels like work, but you get an inner kick out of it. Like that the instant gratification, I suppose you could call it, because you can see the result in this, even if
Now, I'm going to
the
say that
business
I
is
know
like,
people that would go, "Oh, we hate doing the dishes and we hate doing the cleaning," and that's okay. That's fine.
yeah,
Maybe we're just a little weird because we like to do the cleaning.
well, like I said, it's instant gratification. So I
For
can
me, it
work on my
is
website for 6
absolutely.
hours and not feel like I've done anything, whereas I can go and spend 30 minutes doing dishes and be like, I did that. and it
Exactly.
feels fresh.
So, and that brings to mind the naval officer who gave that speech about, if you only ever do one thing when you get up in the
Make your bed
morning,
one.
make your bed. And people
Oh,
still
don't
think
start me on that.
that's bizarre, right? But it's right
No.
because you walk in and you go, my bed's made. I did that.
Yeah.
And
Yeah.
it's a sense of accomplishment. Even if you don't do anything else all day, you can come back and go, that's something I did.
No, I'll usually start with making the bed and then I'm like, there's some laundry that needs to be done. Then, oh, hang on, while the laundry's washing, I'll, do some vacuuming. Hang on a sec. I need to go organize something over.
Do you want to come live with me?
I'd never get anything else done. I'd clean the house and be like, oh, need to start. Let's get it out in the garden. Let's pull some weeds.
Okay, so there's another life lesson is that sometimes you do need to be a little, like I said, you've got to give yourself a stern talking to.
Yes.
Have you,
Yeah.
is this something you should be doing? Or do you need to go and do something else? Where are your priorities? Well,
yes.
That is absolutely fascinating, Mary, and I'm really, really glad to see, first of all, you smiling so much because I know how hard it was
I love this stuff.
When you were first starting out, when you first started out, it was tough for you.
It was literally blood, sweat, and tears every day,
it really
as well
was.
as doing study at the same time and single parenting.
And you had a young daughter, yeah. But I look at you now, and there you are, smiling and making jokes about it all rather than doing the whole.
Well, really, that's what's happening on the inside.
That's okay. Shh, no one needs to know.
This is the public face.
All right. So, what is one thing you would like to leave? What's the
Yeah.
one thing you'd like to leave my viewers with?
Just one. Um, I've just looked up and I've seen my list of music artists. I'll leave them with karaoke.
Okay,
You wouldn't believe it, but karaoke is personal development.
go on.
Yeah. Well, it's teaching you to be in tune with yourself. It's teaching what styles you like and what how you can stretch yourself and change your technique to match what you're singing, like whether it's marketing or whether it's mostly marketing. Whether you're going to do Facebook, whether you're going to do LinkedIn, whether like all the different aspects of it. It's also persistence. So how much practice are you going to do before you hit the show? Like the analysis paralysis. How much practice are you going to put in to make sure that you're good at that thing? I've gotten myself down to 15 repetitions of a song before I can actually get on stage. And then there's the getting on stage part. Like people are scared of what's called public speaking. So getting up sober at karaoke, like it gives you that same rush as speaking in front of a crowd, because and then you've actually got to perform. And people are going to get judgy anyway, but you know, people are going to judge you in real life. So,
Yep.
you know, just get up and get out and do and enjoy it. Enjoy it. Like, yes, some people will applause. Some people will give you the golf clap, like, yeah, get off already. And some people will continue to go about their business and hold their conversations around what you're doing anyway. But that's just like all the seminars that I've attended. So they were actually waiting for someone else to get up and perform for them. And so they're just sitting through me to get through the next person.
And that's okay.
I might
too,
actually give them something.
You might not be their cup of tea, and they might be surprised, and you might be. You never know.
Yeah, you never know. I might sing a song they like.
There you go. So karaoke, life is like karaoke. There you go.
Hashtag.
Hashtag. I'll make sure I use that one when I post this video. All right,
I'll
guys.
use it too.
All right, guys. So if you want to know more about Mary, her website is soulflex.com.au, Mary.
No AU. So
So
www.soulflex.com. Hang on, soulflex2020.com.
Okay,
Get
so
that
there you
right.
go. Soulflex2020.com.
Correct.
I will have all of that in the notes for this video, so you can actually find out more about Mary. Look her up. I'm sure she would be a fantastic inspirational speaker for your group too. So why don't you have a chat to her if you need someone? I can recommend her. She's been fun today.
Oh, don't get me on stage. I'll start singing and stuff. Like that's just a thing I do.
Nothing wrong with that. See, good MC. All right, Mary, look, thank you so much. This has been a great conversation. Really enjoyed it.
Yes,
And
thanks for
guys,
catching up with me. It's been a great time. We got to do it more often.
we absolutely do. All right, I will
Thanks.
talk to you all later.